Hi everyone, this is Ricky from preschoolspeechyplus.com, and I'm going to talk about 10 plus PowerPoint tools that are so easy to use. I use them every day. I think you're going to love them. Here's the list of things that we're going to talk about today. And I just have to tell you, I learned something new from my husband that I could make my screen much bigger. And look how cool this looks. I had to go into Display Fusion monitor configuration with his help, of course. And it's such a great screen for kids who may have some difficulty in seeing as well. I love the size of it. And it's not just going into, zooming the screen and making it larger. You have to go in a completely different section of the computer. All right, so anyway, let's get started. And I'm going to show you first how to make a background. So you can see that this tree is moving all around, and we want to create a tree that is set in the background. So this is how you do it. So I already added a new slide, and I just want to show you a cool trick that I learned just this year. If you go to the corner and grab the corner and make everything gray, and you click on, whoops, that's not going to work. Okay, let me do it again. If you grab the corner, so it has to be just right. See how there's dots everywhere. You have to make sure there's dots, and you cut it. It cuts your whole screen. So I love that. I use that tool a lot. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to find our tree. So before you insert it though, you need to set the background. So there's two ways of doing that. You could either go to Design and click on Format Background, and this screen comes up, or you just type here, Background. Like me, if you forget, I can't tell you how long it took me to learn Format Background. So for the longest time, I was using the search button, and that was really helpful. So format the background, and it brings you to the same spot. You go to Picture, Texture, Fill, and this is going to pop up. And I also thought I had made a mistake, and I couldn't get rid of the texture, and then started playing with it, and realized if you insert, this screen comes up and you just go insert from file, and then that texture screen will go away. So what I want to do is I want to find a tree, and I'm just going to arrow down to T. All these are in alphabetical order. And here's my tree. And I need to change the size of this tree, and I learned a new trick just yesterday. And if you just click to the right, offset left and offset right, it puts your whole tree on the screen. Okay, oh, and you can do the top also, offset top. And there we go. Okay, cool. All right, so we now have our tree in place. Now we want to add some pictures. So here we go. We're going to insert some pictures. I want to insert a green apple, which I know is in my apple tree activity. I want to insert an apple. That's a nice apple. And I want to insert a bird. Okay. Now, we've got our little bird, we've got our apple. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to obviously make the big green apple smaller. It's huge, so it's easy to do. All right, and you can see that the green apple already has a transparent background, but these two don't. So basically, I'm going to make these bigger so you can see better. It's really easy to change the background. Now, I had watched so many videos where people tell you when you're searching for something, you put the name of the item plus transparent. Well, you don't have to do that. All you need to do is click on Picture Format, go to Color, set Transparent Color, and click. And ding dong. Excuse me. Ta-da, done. And I'll do that again to show you. You click on Picture Format, Color, Set Transparent Color, and click. And it's done. Look how nice that is. That's awesome. All right. So now what we want to do, let's see, we want to arrange the bird. We want the bird to go in the opposite direction. Okay, so here's how we rotate. Now, you could either go into Arrange, and here's the Rotate button. And you have to make sure you click on the item first. There we go. Arrange, Rotate, Flip Horizontal. Now, another way you can do this is if you go up here into the Search button again, if you can't remember where it is, and click on Arrange and Rotate. And there you go. All right, I just flipped it in the opposite direction. Okay, so now we want to, so you want to add a shape to the screen. Say you want to have an arrow pointing to the items that you made. So let's find an arrow. Okay, here we go. And we're going to have the arrow point right to the bird, but you don't really like that color. So let's change the color. We'll go to text fill and we'll change the color to, we got to go into this screen. You got to click right on the arrow. And here's that fill button. And we're going to make that arrow bright blue. It's one of my favorite colors. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so, but you change your mind, say, you know what, that arrow is a little too thick. So, and I don't like the color. It's a little too dark. So what you do is you go into text fill, more fill colors, and let's see, you can go back into text fill and go to gradient and more gradients. And here's transparency. So you can make that color a little bit lighter. Let's see if that happens, if that works. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a little bit more. Whoops. Okay, so that's making your arrow transparent. Or you can just change the color and you click on fill and you might want to change it to bright red. Okay, or you might want to put an outline on it. And you might want to make a thicker outline. There we go. Okay, so you could do that. All right, so that's the way, to change some of the colors. Now, what if you want to change the shape? Okay, now this is one I always forget where it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on Edit because I know I can find it there. Edit, Shape. Okay, and I decide I want to change the shape. So I want to change the shape to something like this. And now I was able to put a different shape here, like that. Okay, now if I want to change the look of the shape, I'm going to click on Edit again and go to Edit Points. And what this does, it changes wherever that square is, excuse me, it changes the shape of what you're making. Now I want to show you Control D, one of my favorites. Control D is when you can make a copy of something and you don't have to keep on clicking copy, paste, copy, paste. All you do is you click Control D and I made 6 apples. So I utilize this type of activity for my 5 apples way up high in the apple tree. Okay, so here we have the apples, and I want to make a pile of apples instead of having them in a row like this. I want to make a pile so that maybe the student can move the apple to the tree. And we'll put this one over here since it's an extra. And so what I have to do in order to align these apples. And I use the control D a lot, like if I'm playing games and I want to make chips, and then I'll put like a little note, a stack of chips. And then, then there's like one chip after the other. Whoops. Okay. And you have to make sure you grab it properly. Again, that gray square has to go over everything. You could see I captured everything because there's circles on it all. That's how you know. And then I go into arrange, align. And the first thing I do is align to the middle. And then I go back in, arrange, align, center. And there we go. Now look at this. Is this cool? Whoops. Let's see. And here we are. If you move this, grab it on the line, okay? And then you can move all your apples around and do way up high in the apple tree. Now, if I'm making this activity and I want to make my second page of 4 apples way up high in the apple tree, I'm going to just duplicate this slide. And all I need to do is click on duplicate, and there you go. So now you have a duplicated slide, and then you can delete anything that you don't want. You might want a different bird. So it's really, these are just some techniques that I have been using quite a bit, and I hope you find this extremely helpful. I find all of it helpful, and I'm starting to remember it all, so I don't have to click on search, but do whatever it takes. Okay, so thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this video.